Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Tank be chopping, back with another haircut video. Check it out, man. On this video, we actually gonna be doing a number 3 on top, mid fade, and then we're gonna be lining up the beard, adding a little bit of enhancements, making the haircut look nice, taking it to the next level. This is actually my second time, I believe, cutting this man's hair, but nonetheless, man, let's go ahead and get into this video. As you can see, I am taking my Tomb 45 and Babyliss clipper with the number 3 guard, going over the top, getting it all down to that desired length. And we're gonna go over the top a good amount of times just to make sure we got it all down, right? So, like I said, I cut his hair one time before. I didn't remember how I cut his hair. It had been a while, but I do remember him coming in, right? So I don't remember how the haircut looked last time, but I think this time we on point, right? But nonetheless, man, we're going over the top with that number 3 guard with the Tomb 45 Babyliss clipper. Once again, if you want to purchase this, you can go to fwbarbersupply.com, use my discount code TANK10. I believe they're still taking pre-orders on this, so go ahead and get your pre-order in, right? But now that that is done, here is my number 2 guard, lever open, blending into the top. And the reason why I'm doing this is like I said before, I like to debulk my sides, make it easier for me to work. So now I know I only have to blend into this guard instead of worrying about blending into the link on top, right? So that's why I'm taking my number 2 guard and taking it up to about that parietal ridge area. We're gonna blend that down a little bit more. You're gonna see me close my lever and start working. I don't want to say another section, but just working my way down, you know, debulking some more. That way, I only got to blend into this number 2 guard and I don't have to worry about blending into the top. Once again, this is something that I like to do because for me, it helps me work a little faster, it helps me work a little more efficiently, and it just works for me, right? Like, if y'all want to try this, feel free to try it. Let me know in the comments if you cut hair like this also. Let me know if you've tried this before, and let me know if you don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested to see, you know, how y'all go about cutting hair. You know, if y'all taking some of the stuff I do and y'all trying to apply it to what y'all doing, right? But as you can see, we're still just debulking the sides, getting it down to that length, you know, that guard lower on the side. Now we're gonna take the Babyliss and Tomb 45 trimmer, go ahead and set in our next our initial guideline, balding all that out. And I like to punch my guidelines in. I know a lot of people say don't do that because it makes it harder to take out, but I rarely have that issue, right? And if I do have that issue, typically it's because of the shaver, not the trimmer. But the good thing about these trimmers is they're lined up nice and they cut really well. So even if it is a harsh line, a lot of times I can take it out with this trimmer right here. But now we're doing the line on the opposite side, balding everything out below that line and trying to make these 2 bald guidelines meet in the back. You know, I like to start my fades a little lower and I like to drop them down in the back. And I like to start my fades lower because I like to actually, you know, stretch my blend out. So that's why I do it that way. And then in the back, you want to give yourself some more room because the hair is denser in the back and it's harder to fade in. So you want to make sure you give yourself a little more room in the back. But after that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and take my shaver. This is the Babyliss shaver, the Babyliss stick shavers, the FX1s. As y'all can see here, you can purchase this at fwbarbersupply.com. Use my discount code TANK10 on that website. But as you can see, the closer I get to that bald guideline or that initial bald guideline, I'm making sure I use a slight flick out motion and I'm not applying as much pressure. That way I don't leave too harsh of a razor line and I don't really gotta mess with that line later on in the haircut. Now I'm gonna go ahead and set in my next section with my clipper all the way open. And we're just gonna create this section all the way around the head. We're starting on this side, but as you can see here, we're moving on to the back, and then we're gonna make this section even all the way around. We're basically just following that same initial guideline that we started with. We're just coming up about 3/4 of an inch or so, giving ourselves enough room to work. That way we can actually, you know, get this stretched mid fade that we're trying to achieve. Next step is my number 1 guard, lever open. And I'm coming up about the same amount that I came up previously. As you can see, about 3/4 of an inch or so. Using a slight flick out motion. Don't over exaggerate the flick. I know a lot of people like start trying to float the clipper away from the head and just come up. You know, if flicking is too much on your mind and you like really don't understand what I mean when I say that or when people say that, just come up. The guards are going to blend into each other pretty well, so it's not really that big of an issue. But like I was saying, we're coming up about 3/4 of an inch or so for this next guideline. And what I'm doing on this fade is I'm basically just setting in my guidelines and then I'm gonna blend them out. Sometimes this may work faster for some people. I like to change what I'm doing a lot, so it's not always the same exact steps, but now here is my 1.5 guard, which is the guard in between my 1 and my 2. And this is gonna really tie the shorter part of the blend to the top. It's gonna really tie that in together. So we're doing this on this side of the blend. And as you can see, there is a little bit of dark areas still. I'm not trying to make this blend perfect just yet. I'm just really trying to knock out this fade. And then if I have to, I'll come back later and do a little bit more detail work. So yes, I am doing a little bit of lever play, but I'm not really like being too, what's the word I'm looking for? Too like OCD about it. Like I'm just trying to get that blend to look nice and then I'm moving on, right? And then now we're gonna go in with our half guard lever open. So the half guard lever open is basically a 1. So that's gonna blend into the 1 open section. And then we're gonna start adjusting our lever closed little by little until that section starts to become erased, right? Like it may not become completely erased, and if it doesn't, that's fine. We can go in with our clipper open once again, do a little corner blending, put a little more pressure with this guard on there, or basically just do what we feel is necessary to get that line to come out or get any dark spots to come out. But as you can see, man, this blend is already coming together. Like it's looking nice. Is it perfect? No. Does it look better though? Yeah. Does it look like we're on the right track? Yes. So that's obviously what we're trying to do. And when I do these shorter haircuts, man, I like doing these, but I really like to do a lot of detail work and try to make that blend super, super blurry. Not saying that I don't do it with my longer cuts, but just with the shorter ones, I feel that you have less room for error. That's just me. That's how I feel. But now we're going back in with the 1 guard, doing a little bit of detail work, cleaning up anything that's in between these, the 1 guard open guideline and the 2 guideline. And we're just trying to take away some of these dark areas and some of these faint lines that, that we can still kind of see. You want to go in and corner blend, adjust your lever. Like I said earlier, put a little more pressure if you need to. Not too much pressure, you don't want to hurt the client, but sometimes you have to apply a little more pressure in certain areas. That way the blend starts to look the way you need it to look. And then now we're gonna move on to trying to get this bottom line erased. So I went in with my clipper halfway open, worked my way up, and then I'm gonna adjust my lever closed, little by little working my way down. And I'm also gonna be doing some lever play in this section of the blend to try to get everything to tie together, try to make that look as airbrushed as we can, as blurry, as buttery as we can possibly make it. And once again, this is just all using your barber's eye, understanding what your clipper can do, understanding about how much the clipper cuts when you have the lever open or at an angle or whatever. So a lot of those things do matter. Like a lot of people think they don't, but they do. I can pretty much blend into a 1 without using my half guard if I use the corners and whatnot. So, if you understand that and understand how to do that, you'll be all right. But now we're taking out this bottom line with the trimmer. And once that is done, we're gonna move on to the lineup. As you can see, I like to start off my lineups in the middle of my client's head and then work my way over, right? So I punched in that initial line and then I'm gonna work my way over to this side of the blend and I'm gonna go ahead and do this side of the haircut. Now, I like to do this because for me, 2 reasons why. I have the trimmers in my hand when I'm getting out that bottom line. And then the second reason is I want this side of the haircut to have somewhat of a finished look, right? And when I put this lineup in my client's head, when I'm done with one side of the client's haircut, it really lets me see the blend, like a full blend, a full haircut, so I can see more of where I need to detail, right? So if you're having trouble with like your haircuts not looking that crispy or that buttery at the end, try this, man. When you finish one side of the haircut, put that lineup on that side. That way you can kind of see somewhat of a finished product. Obviously, I am gonna add some enhancements later on and use the razor, but when I hit this lineup, it's gonna clean everything up. It's really gonna show me some, any imperfections that are in the blend, if I need to raise anything, if I need to go a little shorter in certain parts of the haircut. That's what doing a lineup can actually give you. Like when you put that picture in a frame, you can see the picture better. But nonetheless, man, as you saw, we did line up the beard. We lined up under the beard and the mustache, and I was just fading in the beard into the fade. That way everything looks nice and complete. And once that is done, we're gonna go ahead and add some enhancements. Now, I did do the other side, I just didn't record it for y'all, but I did the same exact steps as well as on the back. But now we're adding my favorite barber enhancements with my favorite barber enhancement gun. You can purchase this at fwbarbersupply.com. Make sure you use my discount code TANK10 on that website to save yourself some money. But we're just adding enough enhancements to where it cleans up, you know, it makes the lines look sharp, but it doesn't make it look too fake, right? I know a lot of people like to spray a lot of enhancements. I don't really like to do that. I spray enough to where, you know, it looks a little darker, but you're not sure if it's enhancements or not, right? Like some of my clients like the enhancements heavy, and I will do that because they ask for it. You know, they want the enhancements to be laid on there pretty thick, but most of them just want it to look a little sharper, and that's typically how I go about doing my enhancements. But now with that being done, we're moving on to the razor, basically putting the finishing touches on this haircut, going over everything we did with the trimmers as far as line work, like the edge up, beard, back of the beard, the lip area, getting all this down with the razor blade to really make this haircut pop and really make these lines look a lot sharper. And also it makes the haircut last a little longer. Remember guys, when you're using the razor, you want to make sure you stretch that skin, pull that skin tight, that way you lessen the chance of nicking your client. But y'all know what it is, man. Let me know what y'all think about these steps down in the comments, man. Do you cut hair like this? Do you cut hair differently? Let me know down in the comments, man. I'm interested on y'all's input. I'm interested on how y'all cut hair as well. But check it out, man. This is the finished product. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're in the Houston, Texas haircut and want a haircut from your boy, I think I missed something. But if you want a haircut from your boy, you can go to my website, tankbechopping.com. You can book there. If you want any discount on tools, you can go to fwbarbersupply.com. Use my discount code TANK10. But that's basically it for this video, YouTube. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go.